Caleb Maupin, Press TV's correspondent in New York City, was recently detained by U.S. Customs for 3.5 hours in Abu Dhabi. He was returning from a visit to Iran, where he had worked with the Red Crescent Society to bring aid to Yemen. He has filed this report about what happened during his arrest.
After spending a total of 33 days outside the country, I was anxious to return to my home in New York City. On my way to Iran, I had already been declared a high-security passenger and given a special security screening. At the Abu Dhabi airport, I intended only to change planes and continue the long journey back to the United States. However, this all changed when I was detained by U.S. Customs for 3.5 hours. Being detained by U.S. Customs forced me to miss my flight. I had to stay in Abu Dhabi for 12 more hours before returning to New York. In addition to being detained, my laptop, computer, and cell phone were seized and copied. I was subject to a very rough search of my person and a lengthy interrogation. Desiree DeLoach, a leader of the Venceremos Brigade, an organization that defies the U.S. ban on travel to Cuba, says that harsh interrogations are commonly conducted by U.S. Customs officials.
So the purpose of these interrogations by U.S. Customs is strictly to intimidate people coming into the United States from specific countries. I've encountered this when I've come back from Cuba.
She also added that other than a few mandatory questions, travelers are not legally required to reply to the U.S. Customs officials.
So you don't have to answer these questions. You can do one of two things. You can either remain silent, or you can say, on the advice of my attorney, I will not answer that question.
U.S. Customs officials seem particularly interested in my work with Press TV, asking many questions after seeing my UN press credentials. Understanding my rights as a U.S. citizen, I refused to answer their questions. Caleb Maupin, Press TV, New York.